to a comfortable standing position with feet about hip distance apart. Take a slight bend into the knees and let the shoulders roll back and down, creating length in the spine, softness to the gaze. And take a moment to bring awareness to the natural breath. Let that tongue just melt away from the roof of the mouth, opening up the throat, becoming familiar with that rhythm of inhale and exhale. A sense of familiarity to the expansion and contraction. Knowing that this is yoga in its simplest form. This is breath connection. And as we spend this time together on the mat, we're going to allow our own breath to be our guide and our companion. Taking in what we need, let's do what we can, but also be willing to exhale the rest, releasing the things that are no longer serving you. So if we chose to close the eyes, we'll begin to flutter them open. Let's take an inhale and reach the arms overhead, left hand to the right wrist. Exhale, give a slight lean to the left. Create a soft bend to elbows, feel that heart stretch forward. Take a moment to notice that space within the right side body. Relax the jaw. Let's take an inhale and come up to center, switching our grip, and exhale over to the right. Shoulders are drawing back behind the ears. Micro bend at the knees, maintaining that length within the spine. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, release the arms. Let's float them behind, interlacing the fingers. Knuckles stretch towards the mat, bringing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, opening up the chest. Exhale, we'll slowly hinge forward from our hips. Let those shoulders relax from the ears. Guiding belly towards the thighs. Feel those knuckles stretch to the sky. Breathing here. We'll take one more inhale and exhale. Bend the elbows, release the arms towards the mat. Take a moment to ragdoll. So just swaying gently side to side. Maintaining that space between upper and lower teeth. We'll come to center. Inhale, come halfway up, create a flat back. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, we're gonna rise, coming all the way up to standing. We'll take our palms together at the top. Exhale, bend the knees. We'll come to chair pose. Couple more like that. Inhale to rise, creating length. Exhale, we swan dive, hinging forward from our lips. Inhale, halfway up, feel those shoulder blades draw down. Exhale, release. Inhale, we rise, palms come to touch. Exhale, bend the knees, take the weight towards the heels. Last time through, starting to generate heat within the body, moving at the pace of our natural breath. Use an inhale to rise, and an exhale to lower. Inhale, reach, stretching through the fingertips. Exhale, hinge from the hips, lead with the heart. Come all the way to the mat. Fingertips down, right foot steps back. We'll lower the knee. From here, hands come to hips, our arms extend over, thumbs point behind. Take a moment to find that focal point. Lengthen on an inhale. Soften hips towards the mat as you exhale. Let the chest open. Nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, we'll bring hands to the mat, frame the foot. Let's shift back. Left leg is straight, those toes are up. Gazing softly to the top. Let's lengthen on an inhale. Slight bend to elbows as we exhale. No need to force that belly and chest down. Come to your edge, and then pause there to breathe. Lifting the gaze, we'll slowly make our way back to a low lunge. Placing right hand under shoulder, spread the fingers wide. Let's use an inhale and take our left arm up. Fingertips reaching to the sky, thumb is pointing to you. If it's available today, let's curl the back toes and power up that back leg. Relax the gaze, open up the throat. Press firmly into that right heel. Opening that top arm with an inhale. Exhale, left hand to the mat. We're framing the foot. If we haven't already, let's pick up that back knee. Inhale, we're going to straighten our front leg, lifting up the toes. Exhale, bend the elbows. Once again, we fold. Smooth out the muscles of the face. Take comfort with the natural breath. Lifting the gaze, we'll replant the front foot with a nice deep bend to that knee. Take your time as you step or slide the right foot up, returning to our fold. Find that natural breath. And with an inhale, we're going to come halfway up, creating a flat back in monkey. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, we rise. We're going to come up to stand. Palms touching at the top. Exhale, bend the knees, chair pose. Take a moment here. Let the toes unclench, heart is open, stretching forward. If it's available, let's reach the arms in front, palms will face. A few deep, nourishing breaths. Inviting those hands back towards the body. Let's take an inhale and rise, reaching tall. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Fingertips all the way to the earth. Left foot will step back, we'll lower the knee. Let's take our low lunge here with hands to hips or arms reaching over. Again, thumbs point behind. Find that focal point. And as we inhale, we'll create length. And exhale, let's explore deepening the lunge just slightly. No need to clench the front toes. A micro bend into the elbows to offer relaxation and ease to the shoulders. One more inhale. Exhale, hands release, frame that front foot. Shifting back, our right leg is straight, those toes stretch up. Bringing the gaze to the top of the mat, lengthening the spine on our inhale. Slight bend to elbows as we exhale. There's nothing to strive for or to achieve, so let's not force the body. Create length on the inhale. Offer a deeper hinge from the hips as we exhale. Let that breath support you. Lifting the gaze. Let's walk back towards the top, Creating our anchor with the left hand directly under shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Keep hugging right knee to chest. Let's take an inhale and reach that right arm up. And if it's available on this side, we're going to curl the back toes and lift up the knee, but certainly no expectation that it needs to be the same. We're going to open that top arm with our inhale. Right hand returns to the mat as we exhale. Frame the foot. Back knee is lifted if we haven't already. Inhale, let's straighten that front leg without locking the knee. Even lift up the toes. Exhale, soft bend of elbows. Let's come to fold, meeting in a pyramid. Let those shoulders melt away from the ears. Offer space between upper and lower teeth. We're going to lift our eyes, take a nice deep bend into that front knee, firmly placing hands down, shoulder distance apart. Let's step or slide to meet in our first downward facing dog. Gazing softly at our knees or our toes, actively rotating elbows towards the midline. Maybe it feels good to the body if we pedal out the feet, or slowly sway the hips. Maybe shake the head gently, yes and no. Coming into stillness, feel those hips stretch up and behind, lengthening out the back of the body. And if it's available to us today, let's flow with our breath. On an inhale, we're going to shift forward, coming to a plank, toes or knees. Elbows are in. And now exhale slowly. Body comes to the mat, belly, chest, and chin. Inhale, we roll our shoulder blades down, lifting our chin and chest away. Take cobra. And exhale, knees to the mat, press hips to heels, child's pose. Maybe it feels good in this posture to widen out the knees. As long as it's honoring the body, let's keep the arms extended. From here, we can walk our hands over to that left side. See if the right fingertips can reach a little further. Lengthening on an inhale. Head falls heavy between the biceps as we exhale. Lift slightly. Let's walk through center and come over to our right side. Left fingertips a little further. Gently press palms into the earth. Find that dynamic tension. Inhale, create space. Exhale, we feel that head and chest slowly fall towards the mat. And let that be a guide and not a destination. Feel that natural breath come into the left side body. Lifting slightly, we'll find our way to center. Hands are shoulder distance apart. We'll tuck our knees in. And slowly, we're going to come into a tabletop position. So rise to bring shoulders over wrists. Elbows will tuck to the midline. If palms flat on the mat feels like a lot of tension in the wrists, you can certainly explore creating fists, placing those under your shoulders and still rotate elbows to the midline. We'll do our best to place knees under our hips. Soften the gaze and come to your breath. And with an inhale, just invite that belly towards the mat as you lift chin and chest up. Exhale, rounding the spine towards the ceiling. Take chin to chest. With your own breath, flow between these postures, tending to each and every vertebrae of the spine, waking up the body through this flexion and extension. Notice where you can soften. Maybe it's in the physical body. Perhaps it's the mental narrative. Opportunity to flow through one more round if that's honoring you and your practice. We'll come back to that neutral position. Feel the length within your spine and engagement in the core. So feel the belly button just drawing slightly. Palms will be flat on the mat, spreading our fingers nice and wide. We'll curl our toes under and rise back to downward facing dog. Hold that soft gaze to the knees or toes. Notice if any extra movement is required to feel well. We'll find our way to stillness, guiding chest towards the thighs. Feel those heels magnetize to the earth. And if we can today, we're going to use an inhale to lift our left toes away from the mat. Exhale, let's step that left foot through, coming between our hands. Use that left hand to the back of the ankle to guide all the way forward if it's needed. A little bit of core strength here, so draw belly button to spine. We're going to keep that back knee elevated. Come to our high lunge. Inhale, rise, hands to hips, or arms reach overhead, palms facing one another. Squaring our hips and shoulders to the top. Shoulder blades draw together to expand at the heart center. Find that focal point to rest your gaze. Firmly press into the back heel. Create stability. Take a moment to pause and breathe. Come back to the breath if you've wandered. We're going to lengthen the body on an inhale. Transition to warrior two as we exhale. So back toes to the long edge. If we gaze at our feet, our front heel is lining up to the back arch. We have our left fingertips reaching in front, both palms face down. Take a moment to just slide those shoulder blades into your back pockets. Steady the gaze forward. Come back and follow the simplicity of your natural breath. Holding that gaze forward. On an inhale, just watch that front palm flip up. Exhale, left forearm to thigh. Right arm can reach high. We can extend that right arm overhead where we bring shoulder to hug ear. Or maybe it's best for the shoulder today for us to place that right hand on hip. There's no variation that's better than another. Once we've settled in, we'll unclench the toes, rolling weight to the outer edges of the feet. Let the shoulder blades draw together. Feel how that heart wants to spiral open towards the sky. We'll keep that right hand on hip or reach the right arm straight up towards the sky. Thumb is pointing to you. As we inhale, bring belly button to spine, slowly rise. And exhale, float the arms behind. Interlace the fingers. Stretch knuckles towards the mat. Again, unclenching the toes. Feel those shoulder blades draw together. Create that ease and openness to the chest. Staying here with the head at center, or maybe it feels good to explore, gazing behind, looking towards the right shoulder. Maintain that space between upper and lower teeth. We'll come to meet with head at center, soft bend of elbows, releasing the arms back. We're again in warrior two. Steady the gaze forward. See if we can take a slightly deeper bend in that front knee. Inhale, we turn the front palm up, and now exhale, float back into reverse. So that right hand is just grazing the back leg. We have a slight bend into our elbows. Maybe it's best if we hold the gaze forward, looking to where wall and ceiling meet. Or if it offers greater ease to the neck, look out to the right side or towards the back foot. Come back to your breath if you've wandered. Use the inhale to straighten the front leg without locking the knee. And now exhale, guide yourself forward, triangle pose. Left hand to shin, top of the foot or your mat. Right hand to hip or arms straight up, palm will face out. Draw the weight towards the outer edges of both feet. Guide that right shoulder back as if you were pressing up against a wall. Find a steady focal point. Bring the breath to be part of your experience. Micro bend that front knee, always protect the joints. One more deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we'll bring both hands to the mat, framing our foot, turning our back toes forward, stepping to downward facing dog. Incorporating any movement that feels good, so that could be pedaling the feet, swaying hips, slowly shaking the head. Or if it's part of your practice today, certainly moving through a vinyasa, which is a flow. So if I can guide you through, use an inhale to draw forward into a plank, toes or knees, elbows in. Exhale slowly, elbows graze the body as we come towards the mat. Inhale, we rise, cobra or up dog. Curl the toes under, and exhale, we'll meet back, downward facing dog. Settle the gaze, steady the breath. Take a moment to check in. Let's transition over to that right side. On an inhale, we'll lift our right toes up. Exhale, stepping our right foot through, coming between our hands. Use that right hand to guide if it's needed. Find your focal point. We're preparing for that high lunge. So press through the back heel, engage the core, and let's slowly bring hands to hips. Our arms reach overhead, thumbs point behind. Squaring up to the top of the mat. Slight bend to elbows, let the heart expand forward. Make space for that breath to move freely. One more full cycle. And now let's lengthen on an inhale. Transition as we exhale, warrior two. So turning back toes to the long edge. Right fingertips are forward. Our palms are facing down. Invite those shoulders to rest over the hips. Notice if you can create any more space for the neck. A soft, focused gaze looking just beyond the front middle finger. Allow yourself to just softly stretch, taking up space. Strong and steady. Warrior two. Keep looking forward. And on an inhale, just watch that front palm flip up. Exhale, come forward. Right forearm to thigh, left hand to hip, left arm reaches straight up. Or if it's best, we can extend that left arm over. Fingertips reaching forward, the palm will face down. Softening into the jaw, relaxing the belly, unclenching the toes. Let that heart open up to that left side. Let's keep that left hand on the hip, or take the left arm straight up, palm faces out. If we can, we'll keep the front knee bent. Think about belly button to spine. Inhale, we bring our bodies back up, shoulders over hips. Exhale, arms float behind, interlacing the fingers. We feel those knuckles stretch towards the mat, shoulder blades come together. Recalling the options of keeping head at center, or slowly drawing our gaze to look behind. Resting the eyes to that left shoulder. Notice if the shoulder blades can slide any further down the back. Just create relief to that right side of the neck. Allow yourself to discern the difference of a stretch versus a strain within your body. Nothing to prove. We'll guide the head to center, front knee is still bent. Slight bend into the elbows, we'll release. Warrior two. Steady the gaze forward, come back to the breath. Inhale, we flip that front palm up, receive. Exhale, float back as you let go. Left hand rests softly on the back leg. Right fingertips might stretch straight up. Or maybe they're reaching towards the wall behind you, but nothing is forced. Adjust the position of the head. Let's keep the throat open so the breath moves freely. If we've wandered off, come back to that rhythm. And on an inhale, we'll straighten the front leg, maintain a slight bend to the knee. Exhale, let's guide the body forward. Right hand to shin, top of the foot or the mat. Left arm reaches straight up. Or if we're caring for the needs of that left shoulder, let's place hand to hip. Helpful to roll some weight to the outer edges of the feet. Let the toes unclench. Left shoulder is drawing behind. Feel crown of the head stretch forward as you actively press the left hip to the wall behind you. One more inhale. We're going to release hands slowly as we exhale. Come to frame that front foot. Back toes turn forward. We'll come to meet in downward dog, offering any movement that feels good to the body. Maybe it feels good to take a moment to pause, let those elbows rotate in, steady the gaze towards the knees, and offer a generous bend into the right knee as you actively send the left heel towards the mat. Maybe it feels good to look under that left arm. We'll inhale back to center, finding neutral, and exhale, transitioning to the other side. So a deep bend to the left knee, feel that right heel draw to the mat, steadying the gaze over to that right side. Inhale, we'll come back to center, sending the hips up, draw the chest in. Exhale, take knees to the mat. Maybe they want to go wide so the big toes can touch. Hips come towards the heels. Take a moment in child's pose with any arm variation that feels good. So maybe our arms are extended, palms can be flat or turned to face the sky. Perhaps it feels good to wrap the arms around the sides. Or if you have a lot of tension through the head and the face today, maybe explore creating fists, stacking those fists, and then resting the forehead down. This is meant to be a posture of ease and surrender. So make those adjustments that supports the body to find that state. Give yourself this opportunity to check in, to notice what's happening within the body, the mind, and the heart. Feel that subtle movement through the back as you breathe in and out. And just when you are ready, you can place your hands under the shoulders, press down into the earth as you roll up gently, one vertebrae at a time. We can shift our feet to one side, coming to our sit bones. Legs in front. We'll keep our knees bent as we prepare to lower onto our backs. So if we can today, let's try and keep the hands free, turning the palms up. Unclench the toes, barely having the heels resting to the mat. Opening up the chest. Let's take a nice deep breath in. And then as we breathe out, we're going to lower down one vertebrae at a time, actively squeezing inner thighs towards the midline. Protect the neck by bringing chin towards the chest. Notice that temptation to rush. Slow and steady. Arriving onto our mats, drawing knees to chest. We'll give ourselves a hug, maybe rocking out side to side. And then when we're ready, we'll pause, placing our feet down. We can open our arms wide to a T or cactus position. Cactus is palms facing up with a slight bend to the elbows. Press the soles of the feet firmly into the mat. Inhale, lifting the hips slightly, and just exhale, hips a little closer to the left side. Let's take a nice deep breath in, feel the expansion of the belly. And then as we breathe out, we're going to draw both knees to the right. Holding here in this spinal twist. Head can remain at center, or if it feels good, let the gaze drop gently to the left. No need to change the breath. Slow and intentional, even through the twist. We'll begin with the head coming to center, if it isn't already there. Just slowly draw the knees back up, let the hips come to center. Take a moment to adjust. Relax the jaw, unclench the toes. Inhale, press feet into the mat as we lift the hips up. Exhale, just guide the hips a little closer to that right side. Take a nice deep breath in, feel the expansion. And as we breathe out, knees fall to the left. No need to force the knees down, just let the body find its edge, trusting that that's enough. Head at center, or let the gaze shift to the right. Begin with the head coming to center, and then the rest of the body will follow. Adjust those hips, let your arms float down along the sides. Feet are about hip distance apart here. On an inhale, we're going to lift our hips nice and high, tuck chin to chest. Begin to roll the shoulders under slightly. Feel those fingertips stretch to the top of the mat. If it's available, we can walk our hands so they interlace under the tailbone and just stretch the knuckles to the heels. Chin to chest. Take the weight into the heels and just allow the hips to reach a little higher. Observe that subtle movement through the belly. Actively squeezing inner thighs towards the midline. Feel the engagement within the glutes and the hamstrings. One more inhale. Slowly release yourself to the mat as you exhale. It's now time to find the most comfortable position for your body. So maybe legs fully extended, soles soles of the feet can certainly rest together, or maybe keep the knees bent. Arms can reach out to the sides, taking up that maximum space. Or perhaps it honors you to place your hands softly to the core of your body, connecting to the rhythm of your own breath and heartbeat. As long as it feels safe to do so, let the eyes come to a gentle close. Quietly welcome yourself into Shavasana, the most important part of this practice, where you willingly take an intentional pause and you come to dwell here in a space of non-doing. This is a time for you to breathe, to feel, and to notice. Noticing the needs of your body. Observing the narrative of your mind. Becoming aware of the wisdom within your own heart. There is nothing you need to do or accomplish in these final moments. May you allow yourself to pause and to be. Let this simplicity and stillness be enough. Just with the eyes still closed, we'll begin to guide focus back into the body, noticing that contact we have to the mat. If it's helpful, begin to incorporate just some slow movement, like wiggling toes and fingers, rotating through the wrists and the ankles. Might even feel good to let the head fall heavy, shoulder to shoulder. And if it would be nourishing for the body, we're going to fully extend our legs, pointing the toes away, and invite the arms to float overhead. If it's available, interlacing the fingers. Take time to slowly stretch up through the sides, taking up space in both directions. One more deep inhale. Let it all go with the exhale and invite knees to chest. Give yourself that hug. Begin to rock the body out side to side. And then when you're ready, just rolling to a side that is most comfortable. And from there, we'll just gently bring ourselves back to a comfortable seated posture. We'll keep our eyes closed if we can. And just as we come to meet back in seated, the hands will rest softly if it honors you today, place the palms together at the heart center, coming to a posture of gratitude. Take time to feel those sit bones connect to the surface beneath. Invite that inhale to create length and space within the body. And the exhale to unclench the jaw, melt the shoulders, bringing the body greater ease. And if you choose to today, take a moment to quietly express any gratitude that is present for you. That could be an appreciation for the abilities and the health of your body, for the power and life-giving nature of your breath, or simply expressing appreciation for taking this time to be on the mat. However your gratitude is showing up today, allow it to be enough. I would like to thank you for being here. May you have a wonderful and peaceful day. Please know that the light and love in me truly honors the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you.